guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're interested in self-help style videos, fitness style videos, martial arts style videos maybe, with the occasional random vlog thrown in, then maybe consider subscribing. Today guys, we are going to be having a look at another how-to. So today we're going to be focusing on a slightly simpler, easier jiu-jitsu technique. It is still a takedown, it's still a throw. It is called Kosoto Gaki. This is a very simple throw that involves you stepping to the outside of the person's punch, this time outside of their attack, taking their balance over their heels. So rather than the hip throw that I demonstrated for you in the last video, we're going to be pulling them over their heels so they're leaning backwards, and then we're going to be propping our foot into their knee. If you missed the last video, I will stick a link in the description, so make sure you go and check that out, because I personally really enjoyed making it and I think it's a pretty cool video, especially for those of you who are a little bit more adventurous and want to try something a bit new and out of the box. Obviously, if you are wanting to learn some self-defense or it intrigues you, the technique that I'm going to show you in this video is something that you can do down the park, in the gym. If you are martial artists already, you can do it in your dojo, or you can even attempt it in your living room. Just be careful of the lamp and the TV and the mirror and stuff. Translated from Japanese to English, Kosoto Gaki means minor outer hook or minor outer prop. And it's essentially, the name is referring to you going to the outside of the technique. You are taking the person's balance, and the prop is you putting the inside of your foot into the back of the knee. And you'll see that shortly when I do the demonstration. Now, I know I didn't really talk about this as much in detail in the last how-to video, but self-defense is all about being aware of your surroundings and being able to use appropriate force when needed. Ultimately, you want to avoid it in the first instance, but if you have to engage with someone, it's using appropriate force. Me personally, as someone who's done jiu-jitsu for a number of years, this is the kind of technique that I am most likely to try and use on someone if I have to defend myself. It's a controlling technique, so you don't have to worry too much about whether or not, they're going to hit their head on something. Unlike a hip throw, which is obviously similar to the throw I showed you in the last video, you've got control of their head. You are propping their legs, so you're controlling the descent and the rate at which they fall. And then when you're on the floor, again, you can control them by leaning on them, by controlling their arm, by controlling their head, and so on and so forth. So if you're a little bit concerned or a bit worried and you want an effective technique that contains control throughout, this is probably your bet. Guys, let's get into the dojo, let's get onto the tatami, and let me show you exactly what this technique is, and let's see how you can do it. Okay guys, so let's have a look at Kosoto Gaki. Now if you look, what I do is I step off to the side, I take his balance over the back of his heels using his head, pulling his chin up, and then I use my foot to prop in the back of his knee, just like so. The most important thing with these throws is to make sure that you're taking balance as soon as you can. So I pull his hair back like so, and then once I've got that balance, I'm using my foot as that prop. One thing you need to be careful of, guys, is where you're kicking or propping the knee. The knee is a hinge joint. It only moves in that upwards and downwards motion. And you'll see that when I'm pushing the back of the knee, I'm simply bending it in the way it would normally go to make him fall on the floor. I'm not trying to break it by kicking it at a sideways angle. So I hope from watching that small section of me demonstrating this technique, you can see how effective it can be. Now there are a couple of things that I need to say when it comes to trying this, and if you have to do it in real life, fingers crossed you don't, but if you do, the most important thing is taking control of both the person's arm and the person's head. Now when it comes to doing any kind of takedown or any kind of major sort of technique where you're putting someone on the floor, essentially the way I like to look at it, if you're not using pain to do it, i.e. if you're not applying a wrist lock or some kind of lock or a strike, you need to take control of that person's head. And if you think about it, wherever the person's head goes, the rest of the body will follow it, okay? Quite naturally. If you're watching and you remember back to when I did this technique just now in the video, you'll see that I took control of his head. Now you can do this in a variety of ways. If you want to be a bit sort of rougher and you want the technique to work with maximum effect, and if they've got it, you can grab the hair. Hair is a fantastic tool to use if you want to take someone to the floor. You can take any part of the face. Alright, be careful of their mouth, but fish hooks, I know that that's a bit disgusting, but fish hooks, if you need to do it, you need to do it. Anything across the face, under the nose, into the eye, okay, under the chin. The only thing I would suggest not doing is aiming for the throat. Now I know that that seems like a silly thing to do or silly thing to say because the throat is quite a delicate area, but when you're trying to pull, people are going to resist it. Alright, the neck and the shoulders are quite strong. Alright, you want to be lifting their chin up and away. Okay, and you'll see that in the video. I try to lift Sam, my training partner, I try to lift his chin up and away, and that is twisting the neck. And it's at this point that you're at your most vulnerable. You can appropriately then put that heel in, your foot into the back of their knee. That will then cause their knee to buckle and you can safely put them to the floor. Right guys, so I'm going to wrap this video up now. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope that it's useful seeing these kind of techniques done, and especially me breaking the technique down for you and talking about the little bits that are important as well as just seeing the technique as a whole. Now with all these things you need to train with control, you need to train safely, so don't just go onto the concrete or mess about with your friends and try and do this to each other. Equally, please don't go out and think that by trying this and by watching this video you can all of a sudden keep yourself safe. This is just meant to be available to you guys as a bit of an instructional video, as a bit of a how-to, so you can try it out, practice it yourself. If you're a martial artist, then obviously give these techniques a go. If you're not, still you can give them a go, but just be aware of safety, of your surroundings, and of where you're doing it. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, as I said at the beginning, consider subscribing. If you have anything that you want to say about the technique, or have any comments, have any questions for me about how to do these techniques, or if you want to see any other techniques, please leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It's always great to see people liking the video and sort of showing their support. I really appreciate it, and I do have more how-to videos coming up. I have got a backlog of videos on my camera from when I have been teaching and training at my local jiu-jitsu club, so I will be sending them out and I will be producing some videos and editing it all up very soon. Naturally these things take a bit of time, but it is coming. So like I said before, subscribe if you want to see them, and until next time guys, stay safe, stay awesome, see you later, bye.